What if the human body isn't just biological, but coded? Every strand of your DNA is like a massive book, written in a language you didn't choose, but one that defines everything about you. Hair color, height, disease risk, even how you respond to pain or caffeine. But what if that biological language hides more than just traits? What if your DNA is encrypted with a message? Let's start with the basics. The human genome is made up of over 3 billion base pairs. Adenine, A, thymine, T, guanine, G, and cytosine, C. 4 letters, repeated and recombined in stunning complexity. Just like computer code, binary ones and zeros, this 4-letter alphabet holds instructions. Not only to build you, but to keep you alive. But here's where it gets weird. About 98% of your DNA does nothing. At least according to old science. It's called junk DNA because it doesn't code for proteins. But now scientists are starting to rethink that label. This junk might actually be biological dark matter, containing regulatory functions, microRNAs, or even something more mysterious. Some researchers have proposed that DNA can store information, like a biological hard drive. In fact, scientists have already encoded full movies, music albums, and books inside synthetic DNA. That's right, DNA can be used like a USB stick. So here's the big question. If we can do that now, could someone or something have done it before? Ancient texts across cultures speak of gods or beings who created humans from clay or breathed life into dust. What if these are metaphors for genetic engineering? What if the creators left messages in the code, waiting to be unlocked? And here's where things get stranger. Mathematicians analyzing genetic sequences have discovered repeating number patterns. Sequences like 37, 144, and Fibonacci numbers appear again and again. Coincidence, or intentional signatures. Some theorists even believe that certain symbols or sounds can activate latent sequences, almost like turning on software that's been dormant since birth. Sound crazy? Maybe. But consider that chanting, mantras, and tonal rituals are found in nearly every ancient spiritual tradition. Could these ancient practices be less about belief and more about biology? There are even stories, mostly fringe but persistent, of people who've claimed sudden surges in intuition, memory, or strength after trauma or intense meditation. Could these be spontaneous activations of dormant sequences? And if our DNA is programmable, who or what is holding the keyboard? There are also myths of forbidden knowledge, like the Book of Thoth or Prometheus giving fire to mankind. In almost every culture, there's a story of humans accessing power they weren't meant to have. Is that story recurring because it's encoded in us? Modern science is only beginning to scratch the surface. Epigenetics shows that our environment can switch genes on and off. So maybe our DNA isn't fixed. It's reactive. Waiting. Waiting for the right input, the right signal, the right discovery. And then there's the question of origin. Where did the genetic code come from? Why those 4 bases? Why not 5? Some researchers suggest the code appears engineered. So precise, so efficient, that it might not have evolved randomly at all. One study published in the journal Icarus even proposed that DNA could carry a biological message seeded by an ancient alien intelligence. Not a spaceship, not a radio signal, but a message written in life itself. Another twist? DNA resonates. Yes, on a molecular level it vibrates. And some studies suggest that specific frequencies can influence its function. Could this explain why music can heal? Or why ancient chants have been used for generations in rituals of transformation? If our DNA can listen, can it speak? Imagine a future where we don't just read our genetic code, but converse with it. Where genetic editing is not just about erasing disease, but unlocking dormant abilities. Creativity, intelligence, healing, And if there's a message, could there be a map? Directions within the DNA, pointing to who we once were and who we could be again. What if DNA is the universe's most advanced technology? Not a product of evolution, but a vessel of intention. A cosmic USB drive floating through generations, patiently waiting for us to ask the right question. What if DNA isn't just who you are, but who you could become? What if the blueprint is still unfolding? And what if, buried deep in your genes, is a message, left by something far older than you, whispering, "Wake up"? Because maybe your entire life isn't just a story written in code. Maybe it's a code still waiting to be read.